Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the English Podcast channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Mike. Today we have another exciting episode where we'll cover 50 essential English vocabulary words for beginners.
These words will help you build a strong foundation in English. For each word, we'll provide the meaning, synonyms, 2 example sentences, and demonstrate its use in a short conversation.
If you find the podcast speed too fast, we encourage you to adjust the playback speed to 0.75x. On mobile, click the gear or settings icon at the top of the video screen. On desktop, you'll find the settings icon at the bottom right corner of the video.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to let us know what you think. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the best content.
Let's get started.
201. Appropriate. Meaning, suitable or proper in the circumstances. Synonyms, suitable, fitting, proper. Example sentences. 1. Her attire was appropriate for the formal event. 2. It's important to use appropriate language in a professional setting. Dialogue 1.
Is this outfit appropriate for the interview?
Yes, it's perfect.
Great, I was worried it might be too casual.
No, it looks very professional.
Dialogue 2.
Is it appropriate to address him by his first name?
In this context, yes.
Good to know.
Always better to ask if unsure.
202. Approximate. Meaning, close to the actual, but not completely accurate or exact. Synonyms, estimated, rough, close. Example sentences. 1. The approximate cost of the project is $1,000. 2. We arrived at the approximate location of the meeting point. Dialogue 1.
What's the approximate time of arrival?
Around 3 p.m.
That's good to know.
Yes, we should prepare accordingly.
Dialogue 2.
Can you give me an approximate number of attendees?
I would say about 50.
That's more than I expected.
It's a popular event.
203. Conclude. Meaning, to bring something to an end. Synonyms, finish, end, complete. Example sentences. 1. The meeting concluded with a summary of action items. 2. After months of negotiation, they finally concluded the deal. Dialogue 1.
When will the project conclude?
By the end of this month.
That's sooner than I thought.
We've been working efficiently.
Dialogue 2.
How did you conclude your presentation?
With a powerful quote.
That sounds effective.
It seemed to resonate with the audience.
204. Erupt. Meaning, to burst forth suddenly and violently. Synonyms, explode, burst, blow up. Example sentences. 1. The volcano erupted with tremendous force. 2. Laughter erupted in the room after his joke. Dialogue 1.
Did you hear the volcano erupted last night?
Yes, it was all over the news.
Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Yes, that's a relief.
Dialogue 2.
Why did the argument erupt so suddenly?
It had been building up for weeks.
I see tensions were high.
Exactly.
205. Grim. Meaning, very serious or gloomy. Synonyms, stern, somber, bleak. Example sentences. 1. The news about the accident was grim. 2. He had a grim look on his face after hearing the verdict. Dialogue 1.
Why do you look so grim?
I just received some bad news.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Dialogue 2.
The weather today is quite grim.
Yes, it's very gloomy.
Hopefully it will improve by the afternoon.
Let's hope so.
206. Imitate. Meaning, to take or follow as a model. Synonyms, mimic, copy, replicate. Example sentences. 1. Children often imitate their parents' behavior. 2. The robot can imitate human actions. Dialogue 1.
Can you imitate his accent?
I'll give it a try.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Thanks, I've been practicing.
Dialogue 2.
Why do kids imitate adults so much?
They learn by observing.
Makes sense.
Yes, it's a natural part of development.
207. Insist. Meaning, to demand something forcefully, not accepting refusal. Synonyms, demand, persist, assert. Example sentences. 1. She insisted on paying for dinner. 2. He insisted that we follow the safety protocols. Dialogue 1.
Why do you insist on doing it your way?
I believe it's the best approach.
I guess we can try it.
Thanks for understanding.
Dialogue 2.
He insisted we stay for dessert.
That was kind of him.
Yes, it was delicious.
I'm glad we stayed.
208. Sneer. Meaning, to smile or speak in a contemptuous or mocking manner. Synonyms: mock, scorn, ridicule. Example sentences. 1. He sneered at the idea of attending the party. 2. Her sneer made it clear she didn't believe him. Dialogue 1.
Did you see him sneer at the suggestion?
Yes, it was quite rude.
I wonder why he reacted that way.
Maybe he didn't like the idea.
Dialogue 2.
She sneered when I mentioned the new policy.
That's unprofessional.
I agree, it was unnecessary.
Absolutely.
209. Tuft. Meaning, a small bunch or cluster of something, typically hair or grass. Synonyms: clump, bunch, cluster. Example sentences. 1. A tuft of grass was growing through the cracks in the pavement. 2. The cat has a tuft of fur on its ear. Dialogue 1.
Did you see that tuft of grass over there?
Yes, it's sticking out of the pavement.
Nature finds a way.
It certainly does.
Dialogue 2.
The kitten has a cute tuft on its ear.
That's adorable.
Yes, it makes it look unique.
I agree.
210. Unravel. Meaning, to undo twisted, knitted, or woven threads. Synonyms: untangle, unwind, untwist. Example sentences. 1. She unraveled the mystery with her keen observation. 2. The sweater began to unravel after a few washes. Dialogue 1.
How did you manage to unravel the puzzle?
It just took a bit of patience.
Impressive work.
Thanks.
Dialogue 2.
My knitting started to unravel.
Can you fix it?
I think so. I'll just need some time.
Good luck with that.
211. Aggressive. Meaning, ready or likely to attack or confront. Synonyms: hostile, combative, forceful. Example sentences. 1. The dog was very aggressive towards strangers. 2. His aggressive approach in the meeting took everyone by surprise. Dialogue 1.
Why is the dog so aggressive?
It's not used to new people.
We should be careful around it.
Definitely.
Dialogue 2.
His tone was quite aggressive in the discussion.
Yes, it made everyone uncomfortable.
I hope he calms down.
Me too.
212. Anxious. Meaning, feeling worried or uneasy. Synonyms: worried, nervous, apprehensive. Example sentences. 1. She felt anxious before the big exam. 2. The news made him anxious about the future. Dialogue 1.
Why do you look so anxious?
I have an important meeting today.
You'll do great, don't worry.
Thanks. I hope so.
Dialogue 2.
I'm feeling anxious about the results.
It's normal to feel that way.
I just hope everything goes well.
Me too.
213. Bewildered. Meaning, confused and indecisive, puzzled. Synonyms: confused, perplexed, baffled. Example sentences. 1. She looked bewildered after hearing the news. 2. The instructions left me bewildered. Dialogue. 1.
Why do you look so bewildered?
I can't understand these directions.
Let me help you.
That would be great, thanks.
Dialogue 2.
She seemed bewildered by the question.
It was quite unexpected.
Yes, it took everyone by surprise.
Absolutely.
214. Generosity. Meaning, the quality of being kind and generous. Synonyms: kindness, magnanimity, charity. Example sentences. 1. His generosity towards the homeless was commendable. 2. The foundation relies on the generosity of donors. Dialogue 1.
Your generosity is truly inspiring.
Thank you, I just want to help.
You're making a big difference.
I hope so.
Dialogue 2.
We should appreciate their generosity.
Yes, they've been very supportive.
It means a lot to us.
Absolutely.
215. Insight. Meaning, the capacity to gain an accurate and deep understanding of someone or something. Synonyms: understanding, perception, awareness. Example sentences. 1. Her insight into the problem was invaluable. 2. He provided great insight during the discussion. Dialogue 1.
Your insight was very helpful.
I'm glad I could contribute.
It really made a difference.
Thank you.
Dialogue 2.
Can you share your insight on this matter?
Sure, I think we need a new approach.
That's a good point.
Let's discuss it further.
216. Pitiful. Meaning, deserving or arousing pity. Synonyms, pathetic, pitiable, miserable. Example sentences. 1. The stray dog looked pitiful in the rain. 2. Her excuses were pitiful and unconvincing. Dialogue. 1.
That story was quite pitiful.
Yes, it was very sad.
I wish there was something we could do.
Me too.
Dialogue 2.
The conditions they live in are pitiful.
It's heartbreaking to see.
We should help if we can.
Absolutely.
217. Primary. Meaning, of chief importance, principal. Synonyms, main, chief, principal. Example sentences. 1. The primary goal is to complete the project on time. 2. Education is of primary importance. Dialogue 1.
What is our primary objective?
To increase customer satisfaction.
That's a good focus.
I agree.
Dialogue 2.
Who is the primary contact for this project?
That would be Sarah.
I'll reach out to her.
Great, thanks.
218. Sincere. Meaning, free from pretense or deceit, genuine. Synonyms, genuine, honest, heartfelt. Example sentences. 1. His apology seemed sincere. 2. She gave a sincere thanks to everyone who helped. Dialogue 1.
Do you think his apology was sincere?
Yes, he seemed truly remorseful.
I hope he's learned his lesson.
Me too.
Dialogue 2.
Your support has been very sincere.
I'm always here for you.
It means a lot to me.
I'm glad.
219. Sluggish. Meaning, slow-moving or inactive. Synonyms, lethargic, slow, inactive. Example sentences. 1. I felt sluggish after the heavy meal. 2. The economy has been sluggish this year. Dialogue 1.
Why do you look so sluggish?
I didn't sleep well last night.
You should take it easy today.
I'll try.
Dialogue 2.
The internet connection is very sluggish.
Yes, it's been slow all day.
Hopefully it speeds up soon.
Fingers crossed.
220. Yearn. Meaning, to have an intense feeling of longing for something. Synonyms, long, crave, desire. Example sentences. 1. She yearned for a vacation. 2. He yearns to see his family again. Dialogue 1.
Do you ever yearn for the past?
Sometimes, especially the good times.
Me too, it's natural.
Yes, it is.
Dialogue 2.
I yearn for some peace and quiet.
A break would be nice.
Absolutely.
Let's plan one soon.
221. Cringe. Meaning, to feel embarrassed or ashamed about something. Synonyms, wince, shudder, recoil. Example sentences. 1. I cringe when I think about my old haircut. 2. His jokes made everyone cringe. Dialogue 1. Did you see him cringe during the presentation? Yes, it was quite awkward. I felt bad for him. Me too. Dialogue 2. I cringe at my old photos. We all do. True, it's part of growing up. Absolutely. 222. Dismay. Meaning, distress caused by something unexpected. Synonyms, alarm, shock, disappointment. Example, sentences. 1. She expressed her dismay at the decision. 2. The news was met with widespread dismay. Dialogue 1. I was in dismay when I heard the news. It was quite shocking. I didn't see it coming. Neither did I. Dialogue 2. The results caused a lot of dismay. Yes, many were disappointed. Hopefully, things will improve. Let's hope so. 223. Evidence. Meaning, the available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. Synonyms, proof, confirmation, verification. Example sentences. 1. The evidence clearly shows he was at the scene. 2. There is no evidence to support their claims. Dialogue 1. Do we have enough evidence? Yes, it's quite convincing. That's good to hear. It should help our case. Dialogue 2. What does the evidence suggest? That we need to change our approach. I see. Thanks for the update. No problem. 224. Express. Meaning, to convey a thought or feeling in words or by gestures and conduct. Synonyms: convey, articulate, communicate. Example sentences. 1. She expressed her gratitude to the team. 2. He had difficulty expressing his feelings. Dialogue 1. How did you express your concerns? Through a formal letter. That's a good approach. I thought so too. Dialogue 2. It's important to express your emotions. I agree, it's healthy. Yes, bottling them up isn't good. Absolutely. 225. Hoist. Meaning, to raise something by means of ropes and pulleys. Synonyms: lift, raise, elevate. Example sentences. 1. They hoisted the flag at dawn. 2. The workers hoisted the beams into place. Dialogue 1. How did they hoist the materials? With a crane and pulleys. That must have been quite a sight. Yes, it was impressive. Dialogue 2. Did you see them hoist the flag? Yes, it was a beautiful ceremony. I'm glad I didn't miss it. Me too. 226. Humiliate. Meaning, to make someone feel ashamed and foolish by injuring their dignity and self-respect. Synonyms: embarrass, shame, degrade. Example sentences. 1. He was humiliated in front of his peers. 2. The defeat humiliated the team. Dialogue 1. Why would he humiliate her like that? It was very unkind. She didn't deserve that. No, she didn't. Dialogue 2. I felt humiliated when I forgot my lines. It happens to everyone. Don't worry, you'll do better next time. Thanks, I hope so. Dialogue 2. The way he humiliated his opponent was uncalled for. It was very unsportsmanlike. I hope he learns from this. Me too. 227. Practical. Meaning, concerned with the actual doing or use of something rather than with theory and ideas. Synonyms: pragmatic, realistic, sensible. Example sentences. 1. Her advice was very practical and easy to follow. 2. He has a practical approach to solving problems. Dialogue 1. Do you think this plan is practical? Yes, it's quite feasible. That's good to know. We should proceed with it. Dialogue 2. I need some practical tips for saving money. Start by tracking your expenses. That's a great idea. It really helps. 228. Puny. Meaning, small and weak. Synonyms: feeble, weak, tiny. Example sentences. 1. The kitten looked puny compared to the adult cats. 2. He felt puny after the intense workout. Dialogue 1. Why does this plant look so puny? It hasn't been getting enough sunlight. We should move it to a brighter spot. Good idea. Dialogue 2. He looked puny next to the bodybuilders. Yes, but he's quite strong for his size. True, appearances can be deceiving. Absolutely. 229. Seep. Meaning, to flow or leak slowly through porous material or small holes. Synonyms: ooze, trickle, leak. Example sentences. 1. Water began to seep through the cracks in the wall. 2. The oil seeped into the ground. Dialogue 1. Why is there water seeping through the floor? There might be a pipe leaking. We need to get it fixed quickly. I'll call a plumber. Dialogue 2. The ink is seeping through the paper. Maybe the paper is too thin. I'll use a thicker sheet next time. That should help. 230. Wistful. Meaning, having or showing a feeling of vague or regretful longing. Synonyms: nostalgic, yearning, longing. Example sentences. 1. She gave a wistful smile as she looked at old photos. 2. He felt wistful thinking about his childhood. Dialogue 1. Why do you look so wistful? I was just thinking about the good old days. Those were some great times. Yes, they were. Dialogue 2. I feel wistful whenever I visit my hometown. It brings back a lot of memories, doesn't it? Yes, it does. It's nice to reminisce sometimes. 231. Analyze. Meaning: to examine methodically and in detail. Synonyms: examine, study, scrutinize. Example sentences. 1. She analyzed the data carefully before making a decision. 2. The scientist analyzed the samples in the lab. Dialogue 1.
Can you analyze this report for me?
Sure, I'll take a look.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
No problem.
Dialogue 2.
We need to analyze the results thoroughly.
Yes, we don't want to miss anything.
Agreed, let's be thorough.
Absolutely.
232. Assume. Meaning, to suppose to be the case without proof. Synonyms: presume, suppose, take for granted. Example sentences. 1. I assumed he would be here by now. 2. She assumed the role of leader in the project. Dialogue 1.
Why did you assume I knew the answer?
I thought you had done this before.
It's always better to ask.
You're right, my mistake.
Dialogue 2.
I assumed we were meeting at 10.
No, it's actually at 11.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Me too.
233. Devour. Meaning, to eat hungrily or quickly. Synonyms: consume, gobble, inhale. Example sentences. 1. He devoured his dinner in minutes. 2. The fire devoured the entire forest. Dialogue 1.
You devoured that pizza.
I was really hungry.
I can tell.
It was delicious.
Dialogue 2.
The book was so good I devoured it in one day.
That's impressive.
I couldn't put it down.
I need to read it too.
234. Envious. Meaning, feeling or showing envy. Synonyms: jealous, covetous, resentful. Example sentences. 1. She felt envious of her friend's success. 2. He gave an envious glance at the new car. Dialogue 1.
Are you envious of her promotion?
A little, but I'm happy for her.
That's a good attitude.
Thanks, I'm trying.
Dialogue 2.
He looked envious when he saw the gift.
Yes, it's understandable.
It's a beautiful present.
Absolutely.
235. Influence. Meaning, the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something. Synonyms: affect, sway, shape. Example sentences. 1. Her speech had a great influence on the audience. 2. The weather can influence our mood. Dialogue 1.
Who has the most influence in your life?
Probably my parents.
They've shaped you well.
Thanks, I agree.
Dialogue 2.
How can we influence their decision?
By presenting strong arguments.
Let's prepare well then.
Absolutely.
236. Prohibit. Meaning, to formally forbid something by law, rule, or other authority. Synonyms: forbid, ban, disallow. Example sentences. 1. The new law prohibits smoking in public places. 2. The school prohibits the use of mobile phones during classes. Dialogue 1.
Why is this area prohibited?
It's a protected wildlife reserve.
That makes sense.
Yes, we need to respect it.
Dialogue 2.
They prohibited us from entering the building.
Is it under renovation?
Yes, for safety reasons.
That's understandable.
237. Pry. Meaning, to inquire too closely into a person's private affairs. Synonyms: snoop, intrude, meddle. Example sentences. 1. He was always prying into her personal life. 2. The neighbors love to pry into each other's business. Dialogue 1.
Why are you prying into my affairs?
I'm just concerned about you.
I appreciate that, but I need some privacy.
Understood. I'll back off.
Dialogue 2.
She pries too much into our conversations.
Maybe we should talk in private.
That's a good idea.
Let's do that.
238. Recall. Meaning, to bring back into one's mind. Remember. Synonyms: remember, recollect, think of. Example sentences. 1. I can't recall her name at the moment. 2. She recalled a funny incident from her childhood. Dialogue 1.
Can you recall the date of the event?
I think it was June 10th.
Thanks, that helps.
No problem.
Dialogue 2.
I can't recall where I put my keys.
Did you check your bag?
Yes, they're not there.
Let's keep looking.
239. Regret. Meaning, feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done. Synonyms: lament, rue, feel sorry for. Example sentences. 1. She regrets not taking the job offer. 2. He expressed his regret over the decision. Dialogue 1.
Do you regret not going to the party?
A little, it sounded fun.
There will be other opportunities.
True, I'll go next time.
Dialogue 2.
I regret not studying harder in school, and
It's never too late to learn.
that's a good point.
Let's make the most of now.
240. Wring. Meaning, to squeeze and twist something to force liquid from it. Synonyms: twist, squeeze, extract. Example sentences. 1. She wrung out the wet towel. 2. He wrung the water from his clothes. Dialogue 1.
Can you wring out this cloth for me?
Sure, give it here.
Thanks, it's soaking wet.
No problem, all done.
Dialogue 2.
How do you wring out your laundry?
I twist it tightly.
That's effective.
Yes, it works well.
241. Confide. Meaning, to tell someone about a secret or private matter while trusting them not to repeat it to others. Synonyms: reveal, disclose, entrust. Example sentences. 1. She confided in her best friend about her fears. 2. He confided his plans to his colleague. Dialogue 1.
Can I confide something in you?
Of course, I'm here to listen.
I've been feeling really stressed lately.
Thanks for sharing. Let's talk about it.
Dialogue 2.
He confided his secret to me.
You must feel honored.
Yes, I'm glad he trusts me.
Trust is important.
242. Dread. Meaning, to anticipate with great apprehension or fear. Synonyms: fear, be afraid of, worry about. Example sentences. 1. She dreads going to the dentist. 2. He dreaded the thought of speaking in public. Dialogue 1.
What do you dread the most?
Probably flying.
I understand it can be scary.
Yes, I try to avoid it.
Dialogue 2.
I dread the annual reviews.
Just prepare well. You'll be fine.
I hope so. Thanks for the advice.
Anytime.
243. Glimpse. Meaning, a momentary or partial view. Synonyms: peek, glance, look. Example sentences. 1. She caught a glimpse of him in the crowd. 2. The movie trailer gave a glimpse of what's to come. Dialogue 1.
Did you catch a glimpse of the new art exhibit?
Yes, it looks amazing.
I can't wait to see it.
Me too.
Dialogue 2.
I got a glimpse of the actor backstage.
That's so cool.
Yes, it was unexpected.
Lucky you.
244. Glisten. Meaning, to shine with a sparkling light. Synonyms: shine, sparkle, gleam. Example sentences. 1. The morning dew made the grass glisten. 2. Her eyes glistened with tears. Dialogue 1.
Look at the lake glisten in the sunlight.
It's beautiful.
Nature at its best.
Absolutely.
Dialogue 2.
Her eyes glistened when she saw the gift, and
She must have been very happy.
yes, it was a touching moment.
I'm glad.
245. Isolate. Meaning, to cause a person or place to be or remain alone or apart from others. Synonyms: separate, quarantine, detach. Example sentences. 1. They had to isolate the infected patients. 2. He felt isolated in his new job. Dialogue 1.
Why did they isolate the area?
There was a chemical spill.
That's serious.
Yes, safety first.
Dialogue 2.
He feels isolated in the new town.
It takes time to adjust.
I hope he makes friends soon.
Me too.
246. Option. Meaning, a thing that is or may be chosen. Synonyms: choice, alternative, selection. Example sentences. 1. We have several options to consider. 2. You have the option to accept or decline. Dialogue 1.
What are our options?
We can either wait or take action now.
Let's take action.
I agree.
Dialogue 2.
Do I have any other options?
You could try a different approach.
That sounds good.
Let's explore that.
247. Passage. Meaning, the act or process of moving through, under, over, or past something on the way from one place to another. Synonyms: corridor, route, journey. Example sentences. 1. The passage through the mountains was treacherous. 2. He read a passage from his favorite book. Dialogue 1.
How was the passage through the canyon?
It was breathtaking but difficult.
I can imagine.
It was worth it, though.
Dialogue 2.
Can you read that passage again?
Sure, here it is.
It's very powerful.
I agree.
248. Smirk. Meaning, To smile in an irritatingly smug, conceited, or silly way. Synonyms: grin, sneer, smile. Example sentences. 1. He had a smirk on his face after winning the argument. 2. She couldn't help but smirk at his naivety. Dialogue 1.
Why are you smirking?
I just remembered something funny.
Care to share?
Maybe later.
Dialogue 2.
He smirked when he saw the result.
He must be very pleased with himself.
Yes, it's quite obvious.
Indeed.
249. Vast. Meaning, of very great extent or quantity, immense. Synonyms: huge, extensive, immense. Example sentences. 1. The desert stretches out in a vast expanse. 2. She has a vast collection of books. Dialogue 1.
The ocean is so vast.
It's truly incredible.
Makes you feel small, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Dialogue 2.
Her knowledge on the subject is vast.
She's very impressive.
We can learn a lot from her.
Definitely.
250. Visual. Meaning, relating to seeing or sight. Synonyms: optical, sight, visible. Example sentences. 1. The presentation included many visual aids. 2. She has a keen visual sense. Dialogue 1.
How important are visual aids in a presentation?
They make information easier to understand.
I should use them more often.
Definitely, they're very effective.
Dialogue 2.
Do you have any visual examples?
Yes, I'll show you some charts and...
That would be helpful.
Great, let's take a look.
Conclusion. That wraps up today's episode on English vocabulary. We hope you found it helpful and enjoyable.
Remember, the key to mastering vocabulary is practice. Try to use these words in your daily conversations and writing.
Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends.
See you next time, everyone.
Bye for now.